Welcome everyone to another episode of Talks with Sato, the weekly show in which we bring different voices from the world of Bitcoin and we try to have interesting discussions on what is happening, where are things heading, and how can people actively contribute and support the space. We are very happy to have Analys Falchuk here. She's been working in the Bitcoin space for some time now, and we are very excited to hear what she has to share with us today. So, Analyst, I think the best way to begin would be just for you to say hi and give us a little bit of an introduction to you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that introduction. And I'm very excited and happy to be here today sharing some insights about the industry and my experience overall working in the industry. And of course, as a regular person that have the experience of changing and accepting new ways of acting in this world, new ways of working, new ways of doing things, all thanks to Bitcoin. So, my name is Analys Falchuk, and I'm originally from Venezuela. I immigrated to United States about 7 years ago. The reason why is because education opportunity, professional growth, and overall economic hardship that my parents had to go through in Venezuela that would make them say, "You are going out of the country and you're never gonna go back. You are there's no opportunity for you to be here. There's no way." And so of course it was a decision that we all made when I was 16 years old. And then I left the country and I started a new life in the United States, in Miami. Currently, that's where I live. And when I came here, I came very determined to pursue a career on entrepreneurship and study. I was very curious about the world outside of Venezuela. I would say in Venezuela, we lived in a bubble and many things we will suffer a lot of things and basically on basic needs. So for me, coming to the United States was like a dream already of living life. Just I felt I'm just waking up in another place and everything works. Am I so genuine? Am I so innocent? Why I believe things shouldn't be like this. But yes, the wrong way it was when I was living in Venezuela, that just the basic needs like water, electricity, food, gas, we wouldn't have that every day. That was definitely not a change of everything in my life, opened my eyes to never be attached to anything. And that was the number one reason why I got into Bitcoin. It's not being attached to the money, because the money goes and come as it was in Venezuela every day. You would have some, and the next day you didn't have anything because everything will be super like 10 times as more expensive. So what you could buy yesterday, you cannot buy it today. So it was something that allowed you to understood that you don't have control over the fiat system. And that was something I came here to understand and start studying, and that's why I became part of the Bitcoin industry, one of the reasons, of course. But I'm gonna let you guide the conversation now with that. So that was like just my intro for now.
Yes, perfect. I it resonates a lot your story with me because I also got started in South America. I was born in Argentina, and I left.
Okay.
I left around 7 years ago now. And yes, I lived for a few months in the US. Now I'm based in Australia. And for me, it's also the same. Like I come here and everything works. The economy is much more stable. And it's shocking how much your life can change depending on where you're standing. Uh, I don't.
where you're standing. Yes.
Yes, I don't know if this happens to you, but the first time I started living in the US and in Australia, I there was a part of my brain that finally had a chance to relax. That I didn't realize that it was working constantly in the background of my mind.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yes,
Actually, I was talking about that with my family on Sunday, which I had a lot of family. Every member of my family left Venezuela as well. They're all in different parts in the world. I have some in the United States, and sometimes we just have the opportunity to meet up. And Sundays are the time, and we have the time this Sunday, and we're talking about that it's impressive how all of us can be with a peace of mind and with a nice, I would say, like a conscious, you're like conscious living in peace. Now we can rest. Now you can, for me, it was always a thing to go out. I never could do that because after 7 p.m., you cannot go out. It's like that's what it means. Sometimes we would have been in the streets after 7 p.m. and we're like looking around at what's the car that we not have next to us. Everyone has to have an eye on the car to all the points to check that not motorcycles are following us, not other cars are following us. We will cross the red lights. We wouldn't. It's just your entire behavior affects you because you're thinking all these problems that exist. Um, that of course, when you change your environment, you also change, and your mind change, and everything. So yeah.
yes, yes. I think that's one of those when people say about Bitcoin, if you fix the money, you can fix the world. I think there is a sense that in a place where things work and the economic system is more stable, uh,
Mhm.
everything else seems to work much better. And when
Yes.
money starts to break down, everything starts to break down with it.
Yeah, believe it or not, it is the truth, and everything comes and it's a network effect. It's still was like Bitcoin as is a network effect to communicate the values of Bitcoin. It is a network effect when those values do not exist and it is the opposite. And even the people that have education start acting and behaving the wrong ways just because you got to survive. And so you have to become like everyone else. So yeah, it's very impressive how like just a group of people can dominate and create a thought pattern and to an entire country, and then that pattern leads to behaviors and actions that are not value oriented. And yeah, and then also it's okay, then money, it's everyone wants the power of money. People manipulate everything around them just to get that, and that's how a country get destroyed. That's how Venezuela got destroyed, is by manipulation of everyone to everyone. Yeah, I love my country. I love the nature of my country. I love my culture, my food. I love like everything besides how human beings became manipulated and then allowed that to be part of their lives, and in consequence like everything else happens, but we're here now. So
Yes, no, I think that was very well said, and I could copy paste what you just said and say the same thing about my country in Argentina. And it is sad seeing what is happening in all of Latin America. But I am also a big believer that all this generates the necessity for change. So I am looking at what's happening in Latin America with a lot of optimism. Maybe
yes.
maybe naive optimism, but optimism nonetheless, which I think is very important. And yeah, so I think maybe now it will be the perfect time to start talking about specifically about Bitcoin and how it can
Yes.
it can maybe start helping in this change that we need in the region. So I would like to ask you first, like, how did you first find Bitcoin, and what was that moment for you that the light bulb went on?
Amazing. So first time I found Bitcoin was in Venezuela. Actually, I was in a car shop at my dad's best friend's. We were used to every Saturday get ice cream with his dad. As every Sunday, she would get like something with my family. So we would bounce around. This Saturday, his dad took us to his car shop and he has a storage in the back. And this time, he's like, oh, guys, I need to check something in the car shop. You're going to come with me like for an hour and probably I'm going to make you do some work. And we're like, ah, fine, like just playing around with things. And he's like, okay, I want you to grab these like brushes and you're gonna go back to the car store and you're gonna see these huge machines are making a lot of heat. No, get scared. And but I just want you to clean them up. And if you see one machine that is off, I want you to take the number of the machine that is like there's like a ticket next to the machine with the number, a piece of paper, write them down, and then bring them back to me and let me know which machine is off, because I will have to do something with that. And we're like, okay, fine. We went, we cleaned the machines, and we see these machines. We're like, I never seen a machine like this. What is this? Is this internet? Is this Wi-Fi? I'm asking my questions to my best friend. She's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. My dad has random stuff. Okay, cool. When we come back to his dad car shop, we ask him, what are these machines? And these were all the ones that were off, and we cleaned them up. But what are these machines? And he said, these machines makes money. I'm making money with this machine, but they cost a lot of money too. But I'm making money. I need to return out, like, they're gonna give me a return on investment very soon. And we're like, what? How these machines can make you money? But where is making you money? Where is getting deposit the money? Are we gonna buy ice cream right now with the money that you're making from these machines? Trying to understand, like, as much as possible at that time what was happening. And that was, he said, these are Bitcoin machines. And Bitcoin is just the future of the money. It's a digital money that probably you don't understand right now, but it's digital and it doesn't exist physical. It's not like cash. And we're like, okay, fine. That's my point number one. I say this never again until I'm about to move out from the country and my parents are ready. They were all their investments, they were allocate their bolivares to dollars. That was what Venezuela people would do, or either buy land or put the bolivares to dollars because having dollars was like a better money, right? But then my mom, she started at home watching videos about stock market and cryptocurrencies. And she's, you know what? I have the feeling that we should not believe 100% to that US dollars are the best money because it's still under the same system. What if it like we allow another system to be our investment portfolio as well? So she at home started looking at videos, YouTube videos, stock market and cryptocurrencies, like very general, and she got into Bitcoin. She invested in Bitcoin as well as she invested in other things. But she would mention the names of all of them and she would always scream when any of those will go up. She was another point for me of hearing about digital money and specific Bitcoin. When I got to United States, I go to university. I would say there was no classes around cryptocurrency. There's nothing that any professor mentioned about it. No one talks about it, but students talk about it. And I was part of a cohort program for like many semesters on entrepreneurship. And they were very smart people and they were always ahead ahead of the technologies. Like everyone was like super ahead because everyone is like trying to build a company for the future. So I will hear a lot about cryptocurrencies in general, not Bitcoin specific. Then when I graduated, I had my own company. Previously, my first job in the Bitcoin industry, and the another point how I heard about Bitcoin was like, oh, I used to have a company that I work with hospitality businesses, giving them consulting on tech adoption, and I see this payment processor that we get in contact, and it's a Bitcoin payment processor, which is IbexPay. And that was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe there's already a technology and it's been around me. And I think I should just take it and launch it and see how it works and try it myself and see if my clients want it. And maybe this is a new tech that I need to adopt to these merchants. This is a new tech that it's gonna, so let me learn the benefits, let me learn more. And so I started learning the technology, like how it works as a payment processing, but also Bitcoin itself. Like, why would my clients want Bitcoin, and why would I tell them that they need to add Bitcoin to their treasury? Am I doing it myself? Should I do it myself? Start from there, go to my mom, ask her, start looking around, and I opened my mind and I did that. Then when I start like learning about IbexPay, of course I got a job with Ibex at that point as well. And everything started synchronicity. My curiosity led me to a new career. And of course I was executing a lot. I was putting the work, I was learning, and also at the same time I was teaching others what I was learning. I got my first job in Bitcoin industry, and that was like, oh my gosh, I'm super all in on this. This is everything I feel that the career that I really want to pursue next is it brings determination and ambition to myself and my life and the life of the others. So I need to put my heads down and like really learn as much as I can, and even think again, what is money for me, and what is all of this, that all of these theories out there that that people have about money. And I start looking at money in different ways and different perspectives, not just as a tool to spend, not just as a tool for commodity. And no, like for me it started to be a little bit different. And then I became with my own term of money, which is related to Bitcoin, which is freedom. And money should be a tool for achieving that. It shouldn't be the opposite. So, what are we doing? What are we allowing to not pursue that? And so, of course, my job with iBets was like amazing and brought me to a deeper understanding on Bitcoin and, of course, its technologies around it, and how are we going to be able to scale this in different industry, in different sectors for different needs in the world. And I would say my curiosity is just leading me to keep learning. So now I'm on the another side of the Bitcoin industry, which is I used to be on Bitcoin payments. Now I'm in the earning Bitcoin side of things, and also building Bitcoin and building technology on the Lightning protocol, which is part of what we want to do with Bitcoin as well. So it's been a nice journey, and yeah, everything started with just a question and wanting to understand.
Wow, that is a very interesting journey that you had in these last years, which is why I wanted to have you on and talk about it. I think there's a lot of people that are trying to make Bitcoin their career, and having people like you that are actually doing it, I think is very important, especially for people to know how you got started. And a lot of what you said, it resonates with me as well, because you were saying that, for example, you were learning, you were actually, you said relearning, which means that you had to forgotten a lot of things that you have learned previously to replace it with the new information, with the new paradigm that is Bitcoin. And you were also teaching at the same time. And that led you to the job with Ibex, which is very similar to what happened to me, which is I was again relearning a lot of this stuff, and I also started teaching, and I started creating a lot of content online, and that's how I got in touch with the Money on Chain team, and we started this whole Basis series and shows. So is that something that you would recommend for someone that's starting out, this learning plus teaching in a more public way?
I would say yes. If you are someone who wants to start a career in the Bitcoin industry or its surroundings, right? It could be lighting, it could be, there's a lot of things around Bitcoin that it's not just like Bitcoin has many subcategories, I would call it. So you can be in Bitcoin payments, you can be in earning Bitcoin, you can be in Bitcoin rewards, you can be in Bitcoin mining, you can be in wallet situation, and like there's so many things. But number one, start contributing to the industry, and for that is put your put yourself also on being part of the value for value mindset that we all that work in Bitcoin have. If that means that if you're coming here to contribute, you gotta ask for your value that you're receiving. There has to exist a value for value. That's how we all operate. And it's very important to keep to have that value in you if you want to join this industry. Add value, ask for your value. That's value for value. Then you have a check mark on that. Then also start like exploring the tools. It's very important that you get familiar with the technologies that are out there and use it for yourself. Be curious, ask questions, get on the calls, get on the demos. It's very important to do that. And then number three, look for the resources. There's so many resources right now, inclusive. That's what I am joining my new embark with Stackwork and Sphinx. Both companies, both tools, both technologies are are like, we need workers. We need people because our tools, both of them, are generating a huge opportunity for everyone in the world to come and get paid in Bitcoin and work on top of the Lightning protocol and support like many projects around the world, to be honest, just because we're just a Lightning protocol that are putting one communication and transactions together. On the other side, we're putting automation processes, but combining AI and human beings. And those human beings are workers that are willing, that are wanting to get paid Bitcoin, and they're contributing to Bitcoin. They're getting the value for value, and they're like getting familiar with the most cutting edge technologies. So examples like Stackwork and Sphinx are companies that are giving to everyone who wants to get involved in the community, in the industry, is giving them work. And today it's a need. That's one example I can provide. Like when I used to be in IBEX, we used to have an ad referral program, and we have a lot of people everywhere from around the world bringing use cases, bringing people that wants to accept Bitcoin payments, and we will help them get that on board, and we will provide value for value. So there's a lot of resources out there, and myself, I've always been someone that give the value for value. So if you work with me, you're gonna get something. There's no way I don't do that because it's against my values. So at my job today, learning this huge opportunity that exists, that I would encourage everyone to look at it and explore more and reach out if you have more questions. Um, these tools right now are just about to go to market. It's just about to split.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
It's very impressive what we're building in Lightning, the Lightning protocol today. And remember, Lightning protocol is like network effects. Things are going to spread out very quickly, and they're going to scale. And you want to also be part of that and keep learning. And then, yeah, and then, oh, this is very important. Go to conferences, show up in person. The industry is small at the same time. And doing this, you're going to network, you're going to meet companies, you're going to meet people that work in an industry. It's like a requirement for all of us that working in the industry to go out there and network and be there in present, like showing our faces, because we all work remote. So we gotta show, hey, this is the company that you are getting this service from. We gotta show this is who we are. So you're gonna find a lot of people if you do some networking. So again, everyone can, and anyone with questions on networking and can also reach out to me. As I be in the industry around and doing this, I probably can give some good reference. Yeah.
Yeah, that was all great advice. We're gonna try to cut that into a clip and give that information to as many people as possible, because I think that can help a lot of people. And it was,
Yes.
yes, it was funny that you mentioned the IBEX ambassador program, because that's how I got to know you. Yeah, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, it
Yes.
was a very interesting story that I think might help people. That just that opportunity. I was listening to a podcast and they were interviewing the IBEX team because they just closed a partnership where they were going to be the sponsors for the one of the Australians baseball teams, the Perth Heat.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to that interview and I sent a message through Twitter to the person who was doing the interview. I don't remember his name right now. And he put me in touch with the IBEX ambassador program. And 2 days afterwards, I was speaking to you on a Zoom call. And for the next couple of weeks, I was an IBEX ambassador. So things can move very quickly. And if you are proactive, I think there's a lot of opportunities, because there's a lot of need for dedicated people to enter into the space and help connect all the projects with their customers, basically.
Yes. Yes. We need more people than people think that we need. We want more people to join the industry. We want to give more jobs. We want to find ways that we can um do provide more value to whoever is passionate and interested to take this as a career. So in my case, I am looking to outsource a lot of work through Sphinx Bounty's website right now. There's a website I can share later where it's a marketplace and for job posters, startups, or could be sole entrepreneurs that they want to get work done and they don't have the money to spend on labor, or it could be expensive, but it's outsourced work, and then give opportunity to someone in emerging markets or from everywhere to work at any time to pick any task they want and to earn in Bitcoin. It's a non KYC procedure as well, and take some work. So even me, I'm like keep pursuing this behavior of outsourcing and working with everyone from everywhere in the world. Give some freedom to like at whatever time you want to do this. So that's it's there's many cool things happening, and again we want people to come to us and reach out and ask for how can you help, how can you provide some value, and you're gonna find something.
Yes, 100%. I always found that if I enter into a new space and I just think to myself, how can I add value to what is already happening here? That usually is a good mentality to have when you're entering a new space. Yeah, so you mentioned Stack Work and Sphinx. I
Yeah.
Like you're working with Statworks. Are you also working with Sphinx, or is that just a project that you like?
So it's the same company, but there's two companies on it. Okay, that sounds a little bit tricky, but it's two companies. So Statwork is that first. Statwork is an automation tool that can break down complex problems or complex tasks in pieces and ask and create machine learning models to solve those that process that you want to get solved. But there's a something very unique about this is that any a machine learning model won't be perfect yet because it requires a lot of time to collect data and to polish and always get better. Human beings are needed to help the machine learnings to become perfect, basically, and to get those little details to detect those little details that these. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You cut off for a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So Stackwork is this cutting edge automation tool that uses machine learning and human beings. But the human beings, we don't care where they're from. We want human beings that are willing just to work and that can be from anywhere in the world. And we pay them in Bitcoin. And they're being part of a process, they're being part of a task. And that also is just a combination of what it says, like the world that we live today. It's like people want to work from their home. People want just to accomplish quick tasks in 2 hours, in 4 minutes, things that they can get paid fast. And how they're gonna get paid? Via Lightning. From who? From Stackwork. This is Stackwork on the side. And we could go more deeply on that, but I'm gonna give it some space to talk about the next one, which is Sphinx apps. Sphinx apps has, maybe you can look at it, has three features or three sub products on underneath. One is a Sphinx chat. It's a communication transaction chat. It's a lining chat, meaning you gotta have lining like satoshis on your chat in order to send a message to someone. You are communicating to someone if you are sending them a sat, 10 sats. Why? Because this is the Lightning protocol. This is the value for value. We're giving value to communication. There's no risk of spam because you know that the other person on the other side have to have satoshis, and this is the way that you don't allow computers or stuff to join this community, to join this chat and spam you. And there's no KYC, so you can be anonymous as well. And it's incredible, allows you to run a bunch of different things. If you have a referral program, if you have a community, if you're a community builder, if you have a referral program, you can utilize this to improve your processes, to pay the incentives that you need to pay to your ambassadors, for example, instantly. They don't have to wait until end of the month to get paid in Bitcoin. No, we're working in the Lightning protocol. You sign up someone for my company, I'll pay you right away, instantly in Lightning. And it doesn't matter if you are in South Africa, you're gonna get paid. Um, so that's one way you can use this. You can use it as a community builder, and you can monetize the content. This Sphinx chat in the backend has something that is like a brain graph that also uses stack work in the backend. So it's all connected. That's why there's two tools. And these allows for community builders and content creators to collect content on one topic and collect that data and keep it, store it. So in the future, they can share this brain graph to their community and say, hey, last week we talked about money. You want to learn about that topic overall? Just go to the brain graph, go to money, and you'll see all the topics that are related to. So it becomes like a content collecting type of tool for you to then share with others. So there's a lot of things happening here that are very interesting. And then you have Spin's bounties program, which is the marketplace for freelancers that wants to get paid in Bitcoin and want to take on jobs, and for startups, companies that want to save money, want to outsource work, and want to pay their work as fast as they can. No need to run KYC, no need to go to Venmo or go to bank accounts, or there's no fee for it either. For example, Upwork, it's a platform that we can use to make some similarities here. It's like Upwork is a platform you can outsource work, but their fiat under the fiat systems, they charge the overall charges is like 15% that they take out of the payment for the freelance. Whatever the freelance you're supposed to get paid, it's minus 15%. And then after that, the job poster has to figure it out how to pay this freelance, either Venmo or Sele or these other things could create a lot of friction. With the bounties program and things, it's very easy to just post the job, the worker get the job, say, okay, I'll do it. They're gonna go to the Spin chat and they're gonna chat to each other in Spin chat. It's lightning. There's no need to know who are you working with. There's no KYC, and then the person is gonna get the sats as soon as that the work is done. So very interesting things happening here. So I hope I explain it so everyone could understand, but happy to jump on demo calls if anyone is interested too. But I'm learning, I'm just getting on board to the team, and it's very exciting what we're building, and I look forward connecting with a lot of people that are get part of this journey.
Wow, yes, that was I think it was a very clear explanation. I was taking some notes here. I actually tried this Sphinx app, but it was a while back, so I only knew it as a messaging app. I didn't know how all this stuff connected and that it was done by the same people that do Stack work. That is very impressive. I'm gonna just quickly remind the audience that if they have any questions or if they want to add anything to the conversation, they're always welcome to do so. And what you were talking about, allowing people from anywhere in the world to basically do work and get paid, which is what a lot of people want in the world. It really resonated with me because the money on chain community is based mostly in South America and in Africa. So those are the places where I think technologies like this, like what you're describing, can be the most effective. Like we had an interview very recently with the creator of the biggest Bitcoin community in Zimbabwe. And one of the things that he told us is that for them it's very difficult to accept work from outside of their own country because they can only get paid in Zimbabwean dollars. They can't accept any other currency legally. So for them, it was very difficult to find and do work for outside the country. And with something like Stack Work, there is no middleman between the person sending the payment and the person receiving the payment. So I think this could open a very interesting opportunity for people like them. And in places like Zimbabwe, they can afford to charge a lot less because things are a lot less expensive. The same is with people like in my home country, in Argentina. If you go in Argentina and you can earn in Bitcoin, you can do very well. Bitcoin right now, I think it's an all-time high in Argentina just because of the devaluation of the local currency. So I will gather all the links after the show and I will share it with all our community members. I think this could be very interesting. Are you?
Very interesting.
Yes.
Yes, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Thank you. Are you like having any specific thoughts on which areas to target? Like things like
Yeah,
Latin America?
overall, yeah,
Mm,
emerging markets. Today
right.
we have a talk with some people from Cape Town, South Africa. There's some things happening in East Africa. Of course, I'm from South America, so I'm talking to all my friends from Mexico, from Argentina, from Venezuela, from Colombia, from Chile. I have friends. I'm talking to all of them, letting them know about the opportunity. And it's impressive how everyone is like so excited. And I think the good things is I'm very happy and grateful that I could speak both languages because I think Bitcoin is a global movement, and the fact that I can bring this opportunity to emerging markets makes me very passionate. Of course, South America and overall United States. There's so many people also in United States that are like wanting to maybe move on in their lives. And I would say after pandemic, United States also suffer. There's many people that are wanting to have some more freedom time, or so definitely those. Today I spoke with someone in Italy, and we are gonna have some initiatives happening in Lugano, in Italy, and looking forward more Europe as well. So definitely we are like spreading out a lot. Everyone is welcome, and yes, we would have to share the links after this so people can start getting on board before the big waves come. I would say I will be your point of contact. We have different product managers in the companies, but I will make sure that everyone goes through me and that comes to me, pass through me, and get the right information as this is part of the process.
First, thank you. That is very generous, and I hope our community members take advantage of this opportunity. And this, I think, is a good segue to my next question, which was about the future of Stack Work and Sphinx. What are your plans for the foreseeable future?
Great. So I'm just onboarding to the company right now, and we're gonna have a meetup, the whole team, next week. We're gonna all meet in person for the first time. I think a lot of things are gonna happen there because we're gonna put our head together for an entire week, and I think that's gonna become. There's gonna be a lot of outcomes out of this, and I look forward to that. Number one, then I look forward to just launch our vision and launch our products to the market, which we haven't launched that much yet. It's all being very organic. And as you said, you tried a screen chat before. All these other things. It's because the app is getting upgrading. Screen chat is getting upgrading. It's becoming all these things that I'm telling you, and it's gonna be, of course, much better experience. And so I look forward, yeah, working towards the vision of decentralizing the workforce as well. And that vision is very inspiring to me as it's very mission driven. And yeah, and at the end there's a long term, we want to provide some fun devices to those emerging markets and those workers that instead of being workers on a farm, they're going to be workers of the Lightning Network, and they're going to have devices and computers on their hands. They're going to be able to complete tasks, and all this information is getting saved on their decentralized devices that only them have access to that information. Providing security and privacy is also part of our big feature, and that is very important. That I learned as well as I joined these communities, like how am I having this privacy and this security for myself so I can also help others. I'm working on myself, but I'm also working towards the vision of helping on that as well. And that's like high level, some upcoming things, future. And yeah, very excited to join Paul Itoy on his vision as well and mission. So, and the rest of the team as well. So, very cool.
All right, all right. We will have to stay in tune to get the updates after you do that meeting and things move forward. I think it is a very exciting time to start to pay attention to this kind of projects. You said that you're trying to decentralize the workforce. I think that is a very powerful statement and something
Yes,
that, yes, I would very much like to see happen more. And
it's happening already. It's happening. It's happening. We're not there, like fully decentralized, but it's happening already. Like we know people are becoming digital nomads, and but still, where is their information going on their how they're getting paid? Which tools are they using to communicate with each other? All of these things are the things that now we're taking care of. That these operations are decentralized as well. So we can literally say, oh, we're decentralizing the workforce, and that is going to help Bitcoin industry to achieve more adoption, because if we don't make people earn Bitcoin, how are we gonna ask people to pay in Bitcoin? We gotta work on both sides.
yeah, no, that is very well said, and I like the thought process. I know that, for example, gaming is being a big onboarding tool for Bitcoin, and it's because what you said, people are earning their first Bitcoin. They're not going out and buying it. And for a lot of people, especially again in emerging markets, if you have the opportunity to work in your own time and in a way that is the messaging is secure and all that stuff, and you can earn a different currency that is not your local fiat currency, I think that's just going to open the doors for a whole new market of people that perhaps will not be onboarded into Bitcoin by the sound money argument, but they, if you provide them with an opportunity to do work, to get paid, and to be owners of their time and their energy, I think that could be really great. And if you also think from the other side, there's companies that are getting the job done and they're getting it done cheaper, and there's no middleman, less friction and all of that. It seems like it would be a situation where everybody benefits.
Yes. Well said. You are an amazing moderator. You get all the insights and summarize for your audience. So thank you so much for the invitation once again and for your efforts. Um, we will stay in touch, and yeah, I'm happy to join this community as well. Just join the Telegram chat as well. I didn't know you have one, and I join it, and happy to share there some news, upcoming news, and future opportunities.
Oh, yes, yes, that would be perfect. I'll send you all our links after, and you can send me also the links for Stackworks and Sphinx and all of that to make sure that our community can stay up to date with that. And
Yes,
I also want to thank you for coming here and give us your time and your energy and attention, which is very important. And we're getting to the hour mark, so I don't want to keep you too long, but every time, every spaces before we close, we ask our guests our famous question, which is, if you were to meet Satoshi Nakamoto today, what question would you ask him or her or whoever
yes.
Satoshi is?
Great question. That's amazing. Okay, so I think I have a few. Let me think. But okay, so of course, simple. What was the primary motivation behind creating Bitcoin? And do you anticipate the profound impact it will have on the world? I'm just curious from that point. And then, why did you choose to remain anonymous? And do you believe your decision has had a positive or negative influence on the development of cryptocurrencies? Just want to get, I would like to get his thoughts on it. Maybe getting more on his vision, like how do you envision the role of Bitcoin in shaping the financial landscape and global economy in the coming decades? Let's talk about very far future, which I still have a long to leave. So I'm curious. And yeah, and then maybe can you offer guidance, advice to those that have been inspired by your work and are working on Bitcoin projects today? Yeah, those would be like my questions.
Yeah, those are great questions. I wish I could know those answers as well. it, it's
Yes,
it's funny when we ask that question because we get a lot of different answers from people, but everybody has one or two questions that they wish they could ask Satoshi in person. And to me, it's still such a wild idea that we don't
what
know.
is yours? What is, do you have what? Do you have one? What is your main one?
The one that when we did the first basis, I answered that question myself, and I said that I would ask him for his private keys so I could get all his bitcoins. But
That's a good one.
yes, on a more serious note, I think just like you, I would like to know more about his thought process. And I really like the question about if he thinks, he or she or whoever, that being anonymous, if they believe that is good for Bitcoin and why. I would like to know that question because sometimes I wonder. I like the fact that we don't know him, so we can only judge Bitcoin for what it is and not for who created it. But at the same time, I know a lot of people that have a hard time trusting Bitcoin because they are like, I don't know who created it. It seems like a crazy story, but it's a real
Right.
story. Anyway, I think,
Anyways,
yeah,
but
we can talk about that
yeah.
for a long time as well.
Thank you so much one more time. This has been fun and very resourceful and nourishing to me and to everyone that is listening this. So thank you one more time. I don't know if anyone has any questions, just come in, and also, yeah, and I don't know if I can speak up and share my like profiles here, or you do that on the link. But
Yeah, we can.
overall, thank you.
No worries, no worries. We'll link all the information in the podcast and on the clips that will be coming out later in the week. And yeah, I invite everyone that's been listening to this, either to live version or the recording, to contact Analys if they have any question or anything. And I invite everyone to come to our next spaces next week, same time, same place, and keep exploring this incredible world of Bitcoin that is expanding in real time. So thank you one more
Yes.
time. Thank you all the audience, and hopefully I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye everyone.
Bye.